This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here for our first Finance and Administration Chamber Council of the year, sponsored by Owen Staffing and presented by Abacus Technologies. And I will now turn it over to you guys. Go ahead.
I'm assuming it's running now. So thank you guys again. My name is Chip Neal. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Abacus Technologies, and we are just so happy to have this opportunity to get to speak with you guys today and spend some time with you. We brought our entire team with us, so we're going to give you a little bit of an overview on who we are and what we're about, and more importantly, potentially what we can do for your companies and help your organizations. As you can see, Abacus solves cybersecurity, telecommunications, business intelligence, and network infrastructure needs of businesses to help clients not only get stronger, smarter. We like to say that we want you to work on your business instead of in your business. So companies like yours love to have us come in so that we can help wherever that potential desire for technology needs may lie. And we'll explore more of that as we talk. And my slide deck's not moving. There you go. Did I jump? Sorry, guys. I'm getting, there you go. Perfect. Sorry, I'm getting used to this computer. One of the things that I feel is the most important thing that we offer is the feedback from our customers and our clients. And we're very, very honored to have the clients that we have, and hopefully we'll earn that opportunity with you guys one day. But just a couple different clients and some of the things that they said about us. I always love to share this because I love to show everybody that as a technology company, you're only as good as what your clients say you are doing for them. And as you can imagine, being in our field, that can get kind of sticky sometimes because it's very high-end technical information that is helping you run your business, so that when you need something taken care of, we want to be there immediately to help you. And we ask our clients, and I think one thing that's extremely unique to Abacus is that every single client, after we perform a job or a duty for them, we become your choice of vendor, you immediately get the opportunity to give a survey back on how we did instantly. And so we grade ourselves on stars. And to get 4 stars is a really big deal for our team, to the point that if we don't get a 4-star, you're probably going to get a call from our director of service, Lee Kennedy, who you're about to meet, to say, hey, how can we get better at what we're doing? And how can we provide a better service to you? So that just means a lot to us from our perspective. So who is that client? One of the things that this slide will show you is that that ideal client is a business that truly understands technology and security and how vital they are for the health of the business. So you may say, well, Chip, that sounds like anybody's a client. And absolutely, that is true. But what we found is that the clients like yourselves that truly understand where they are now, what their vision is, are looking for a partner like Abacus to help them not only see today's expectations and needs that you need, but how are we going to help you guys get to the future and your vision for your company? Because that's truly where we make that mark. And what we do, which I think is extremely important, is when we come in, when we get the opportunity to work with you, we take the time to sit down and truly understand where you are today and where you want to go, so that we can help put that plan in place to help you achieve those goals. Whether it's capacity, expertise, reliability, or the resources, we're here to help you and take care of all those needs. So what are our solutions? We do quite a few things, as you can see. Managed IT services, And we're going to have our Director of Service, Lee Kennedy, speak on this in a second. Cybersecurity, which is a really big topic right now. And our COO, Brian Jackson, will be speaking on that. Network and system engineering will again follow under what Lee talks about, as well as security risk and assessments will fall under that cybersecurity arm. The telecommunications piece, which is extremely vital to clients like you guys. We have Samantha Knight, who's our senior territory manager, who will be speaking on that topic. Network infrastructure, co-managed IT, again, are variations of what that IT management looks like that you'll hear from Lee. And then finally, the business intelligence piece. And we're fortunate to have Jeremy Shank with us today, who runs that area of expertise, and he'll share some information on that as well today. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Samantha and let her tell you a little bit about our telecommunications.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, like Chet said, I'm Samantha and I'm the Senior Territory Manager. And the telecommunications arm is one of my favorites to talk about because it impacts so much of your business and how you operate your business. I mean, think about how much communication you do via email, video conferencing, through your calls, anything that you can think about communication-wise. It kind of all falls under here. As you can see, you want a reliable all-in-one system that can be mobile. You know, we don't want the phone systems where you have to be tied into a network anymore. You want to be able to answer a call wherever you are and be able to receive and send out a call that says, hey, you know, Abacus Technologies, I'm be able to answer that call, but then also not answer a call. You can set up a video conference. You can do instant messaging, text messaging, collaboration tools. And so it really be able to expand your business from really working from a traditional corporate office to you can do it anywhere. And so being able to have that type of technology at your hand, can you think about all the opportunities that you can grow your business with having those type of tool sets available to you? And so one of the client success stories that I want to touch on is Rely Title. They depend heavily on their phone system. They're a closing company. They're constantly calling between the closing people, the banks, getting the title working, and everybody's there in one room, the lawyers, everybody's trying to get this closing done in an efficient time and manner. And if something goes wrong, they rely heavily on being able to communicate out within the different branch offices, but also to the different entities. And so being able to have a hosted communication platform that allowed them to easily be able to reach out to all those different parties really changed the way they did their business and the way they operate their closings. Their closings were a lot more efficient. They were able to get things done quicker. And so I think being able to streamline that call flow for them, it really changed how they do their business. And so thinking about that for how you can impact your business, what are some things that you guys are doing that you can streamline and become more efficient when you're sending out your communications? So I think that's why I love telecommunications, because it is such a vital, important piece of how you operate your business. The next one is managed services, and I'll let Lee talk to you a little bit more about that.
Appreciate it, Samantha. So managed services. I know you guys are probably thinking, oh man, this guy's going to come up here and talk IT with me, and this is going to be the boringest part of this presentation. Maybe, but I doubt it. Who here works with a IT managed service provider right now? Their company? Nobody? Good, we're in the right spot there. So what is managed IT services? It's a framework of services that we offload of your company that we take responsibility of. Biggest, most common one, been doing it for years, not only Abacus, but the MSP industry for 20 years, desktop support. A lot of companies don't want to take that on, or somebody that's not even an IT person takes on that responsibility. We do stuff like offloaded, endpoint management, maintenance and monitoring, firewall services, and application support. We kind of refer to those as the commodities to keep a business up and running. So we refer to those as the IT commodities. We do all those. What makes us unique is our IT security stack. We don't use, just to get by. With today's environment, we use a platform, a framework that encompasses a lot of different features to keep you safe, secure, and if an attack does happen, how do you react to that? So we keep that in mind all the time. I'm gonna tell you a couple stories of some clients that we've dealt with. Once again, relying title that Samantha touched up on. They called us in, they had a previous MSP or a partner they were working with and left them in a bad spot. We came in and he said, first thing we need to do, we've got 15 different locations, we've got 80 different users, and nobody could scan. We're having all these scanning issues. So I went in there and started interviewing everybody. Well, it turned out we had 15 different locations scanning 15 different ways. There was no way for anybody to manage it. So I went to the boss and said, hey, each location is going to scan this. Let's start with this location. We spread it out. Before you know it, problem solved. We don't just, resolve the immediate end user's needs, but we look at the big picture and the workflow of a corporation. Because we want you to be more efficient. We want to be more efficient also. We don't want you calling us all the time because that means we're not doing our job. Another aspect of managed IT services that is really helpful is if you have in-house IT, a lot of small and medium-sized businesses have 1 or 2 guys there that do in-house IT. How do we manage that person? Well, there's no IT people there to manage them. So they really have the keys to the kingdom. And in a scenario, not Jeffrey Machine, but a different company, they had an IT guy walk, took all the passwords, took all the information with them, and they called us in to help them out. We ended up having to call lawyers to get a hold of this guy because there was nothing we can do. It was that easy for him to hold him in. Once we got the lawyers involved, he copped over, he gave up the information and we were back on our way to doing business. But a lot of people don't understand, like, how do they hold this guy responsible? How do they know what he's doing? Is he doing what he's supposed to be doing? So with that being said, we can either take over IT as a whole, or more importantly, we can co-manage with the existing IT. So we can help hold that person responsible and help, see the future. A lot of these IT guys, they come in and do the commodities and nothing else. They'll do the help desk support. They'll make sure everybody's printing. They'll make sure the workflows are happening. A lot of business applications are up and running. But as far as growth and understanding the flow of the company and how to grow it and make it more efficient, they usually don't have time to do that, or they don't know to do that. So that's my bit on managed services. We'll jump right to the fun stuff and go to business intelligence.
Hey y'all, like Chip said earlier, I'm Jeremy Shank. I lead our business intelligence team. And when we talk about business intelligence, a lot of people have different ideas in mind. Business analytics might come up. And really what we mean when we say business intelligence are the ways that we leverage this software and services to transform your data into actionable insights and inform an organization's strategic and tactical business decisions. Kind of a wordy definition. What we really like to say is that we turn data into information and information into action. We want you to have all of these pieces that are floating around your business, understand them, and be able to act quickly and well on them. We use a variety of different tools to analyze and access that data so that we can present it to you through dashboards, charts, maps, however you need to see that data. We know how to create it. There's a few things that go into this. You can see here data discovery. That's where we really understand your data, go into it, give you a roadmap of how your data all fits together. The actual analysis, where we are taking that roadmap, looking at it, presenting you those findings, and then visualizing that data and integrating it into systems. A couple stories right here. Universal Limited, they are a construction company in Birmingham. At the time, they had over 700 employees. They're now larger than this. But they had a single person handling the ACA 1095C reporting. And if you don't know what a 1095C report is, that's amazing. I wish I didn't know what they were. That's not my case though. They have to take, for every employee, for every month, look at, were they employed? Were they full-time employed? What did they make? Did they take the health benefits offered? Were they offered benefits? If they weren't offered benefits, why? If they didn't take the benefits, why? There's several steps to this. And for over 700 employees, they had one person handling all of it. In 2020, they were late, and it's a $300,000 fine. 2021, we came in and we created a system for them to automatically pull that data and create the report for them. So all they had to do was upload it to their tax system. This year, we came back and it took 1/5 of the time it took originally. We're able to get that done for them. And that's really what we are looking to do, remove those impediments for you. This person who is handling all of this, as y'all are probably familiar with a similar situation, this was not her only job. This was not her only duty that she had to take care of. And because of that, it was creating this scenario where she couldn't actually fulfill all of her roles. And so with business intelligence, we want to give you that time back to do the things that you love. We do that with the data, but also with automation, which is a big part of what sets us apart from other business analytics places. Not on here, but quick stat, we've got one company who works with us who they utilize all of our different automation systems. So we break those out into a couple different buckets. One-time automations, so those things that you're going to do one time, but you're going to do the thing like 500 times in one day. We've got our repeated automations, or the scheduled automations, those things that happen every day at 12 o'clock, every day at 1:30. We've got a couple reports probably running right now or in the next 3 minutes. And then we've got those process automations where we don't have a specific time that we're going to do this, but every time something happens, for instance, every time a client comes in, we're going to do the same steps. One client utilizes all 3 of these, and on average, they save about 10 hours a week from their workflow. So if we could offer you 10 hours of your week back just to do whatever you're behind on, whatever you want to get ahead on, that's what we want to do with business intelligence. Pass that off to Brian Jackson.
Thanks, Jeremy. Just want to echo Chip's, just thanks for everyone coming out today to hear our presentation. And I want to talk just a few minutes about a topic that, number one, is, of course, very popular in the news right now, but also probably something that we personally experienced at some point or another. Most all of us at some point have gotten that letter in the mail from, one of the larger companies. Could have been your credit card company. It could have been Equifax. It could have been Target. It could have been any of those companies that, hey, your information's been compromised. Either your card information, your personal information has been compromised, and you're at risk for some type of fraud, or maybe we ourselves have experienced fraud in some way or some fashion. Maybe our businesses have experienced or been a victim of some type of fraudulent activity. But when it comes down to it, cybersecurity is something that affects us all, either personally or within the businesses or organizations that we work with. And while I could sit up here and ramble on for hours and hours of all the statistics that are out there and scare you half to death with some stories and make you want to leave here with your phone turned off, your internet shut off your house, I'm not going to do that today. But I do want you to leave here with just the thought that, hey, you're at risk personally, to attacks. And there are a lot of criminals out there that are seeking to prey on individuals, but also to prey on your businesses. And your business is at risk as well. No matter whether you're, a 1 to 2 to 3 person law firm or a multi-million organization, Cybersecurity will affect you eventually, or it will be something that you will have to deal with. About 70% of cyber attacks do actually target small to mid-sized businesses. That happens because most of those businesses just are not equipped to handle such an attack. And the criminals know this. I mean, they're gonna prey on the easiest victim, those that don't have the cybersecurity budgets, they don't have the tool sets, they may not have the expertise, but they know they have to make payroll on Friday. They know if they interrupt that business or hold them hostage, that they'll get what they want as a criminal. So, I always encourage clients and encourage businesses that I speak to put security on the agenda before it becomes the agenda. Let's be proactive about it. Let's have discussions about it. Let's make plans. Let's put safeguards in place now before we have to deal with it when it actually happens. One of the biggest threats we see against businesses right now is wire fraud. You get an email that will looks like be a proprietor in the company, or maybe a principal, maybe an owner. Hey, can you please send a wire transfer? And that will usually come from someone who is impersonating him or her. And the person who's in the financial position will actually get that execution and make it happen. We've seen companies lose anywhere from $70,000 to $130,000 just from a single phishing email that gets through to the right person at the right time with the right information. So, but please leave her known this is a real threat, and that it does affect all businesses, and also is a threat to us personally as well. A couple of different things we do to help businesses, and I want to give you all some takeaways of what you can do in your own business today as well to protect it. But a couple of things that we do as a company to help businesses be more prepared and be proactive when it comes to cybersecurity. One of the best things you can do in your company is to get an assessment done. It's hard to take action without understanding where your gaps are. I think that's something we do a really good job at as a company. We've helped a lot of different organizations, better understand the culture when it comes to security in their companies, but also where their technology gaps or policy gaps, and also leadership gaps when it comes to security. We also do quite a bit of testing. We want to test your defenses. How good are they? How resilient are the tool sets and security procedures you have in place? We want to help you look at your vulnerabilities. Are you keeping your computers up to date? I know all of us here either have a Mac or Windows, it doesn't matter, but we're constantly having to apply updates. Those updates are happening for a reason. A lot of times it's to fix a vulnerability in the system, because software developers don't always develop software for security. They develop it to make our lives easier, to make it work. So we need to make sure those patches and those updates are being applied on a regular basis. Internal threat monitoring is extremely important. On average, an adversary could be on your network or your systems 160 days before you even know they're there. And I sort of equate that to having maybe a malicious person or robbery. How would you feel if they were in your house for 160 days, watching what you do day in and day out, watching your habits, watching where you go? They do the same thing with our businesses. They'll lurk in emails, they'll lurk on the network, and they will try to determine, hey, where are your backups stored? How often do they occur? Who are the key individuals in the organization? Who has administrative rights? I mean, all these things are pieces of information that they're after as they lurk in your network and look around. But 160 days, that's a very long time to go undetected, and for them to have just carte blanche access to everything that you have. So, we want to put security and measures in place that can, hopefully detect those internal threats before they actually happen. We want to detect them and find them before they trigger the ransomware, or before they can trigger a phishing email, before they can use your systems to maybe orchestrate another attack to some unsuspecting victim. And finally, security awareness training. I think this is one of the most important things you can do to build a culture of security in your organization. Employees and users are often the origin of most attacks, either just by plain error, maybe they click on something they shouldn't have, or by some type of social engineering attack. Sending that phishing email, impersonating someone that may not be on the other end of it, and getting them to agree to do an action that they're not supposed to. We have to find a way to educate people to be more resilient to those type of attacks. So recognize the phishing email to know when to click and when not to click. And sometimes it just boils down to picking up a phone. And the wire fraud question I gave a few minutes ago, the majority of the attacks that we see that are successful could have been prevented if that person would have just picked up the phone and said, hey, did you authorize this wire transfer? And say yes or no. You know, those are not technical controls, those are human controls that are in place. True story, a few years ago, we had a administrative assistant come to me and she basically said, I don't know what you were thinking, but we don't have this amount of money to transfer to this account that you requested to me last night. And this happened within Abacus. And I'm like, I'm glad we don't, because I did not authorize that transfer. But if we'd had that money in her account, she probably would have wire transferred that out because she just didn't pick up the phone. So we ourselves have dodged bullets, and like I said, we ourselves are also victims, or you know, people try to victimize us just as well. So those are some things that services that we provide and help clients with. Also, some steps you can take. On top of that, you know, please look at the many resources that are out there in cybersecurity. CEAS is a great resource. FBI is a great resource. Go out to their websites, subscribe to their bulletins and emails. Some of them are very technical, but some of them are very practical too. They have a great site, Shields Up, that has a lot of great practical steps you can take in your business and personally secure data. So they talk a lot about, you know, updating your computers on a regular basis, making sure you're aware of different types of threats from organization, using multi-factor authentication. If you're not using that for email, you're not using it for other types of applications that you access online, you need to have those things enabled. Secure passwords. Passwords are still the #1 thing that often lead to an attack. And it seems year after year, the same passwords get put on the top 10 worst password list. That's the reason, because people are still using them. So, you know, create a strong password. I mean, those are just 3 simple things you can do right now that that will help protect you against different types of attacks. A couple of stories just want to share with you. One, we mentioned SDG, which is one of our clients, has been for a long time, but you know, we went in and helped them. They had some concerns about cybersecurity, and we went in and helped evaluate their systems, their network, and we're not only were we able to provide them a gap analysis, but I think one thing unique about our services is that we can also help remediate. I've never been a big fan of telling everybody, hey, this is what you got wrong. You know, good luck with it. You know, hey, this is what you got wrong or what needs to be improved. Hey, here's how we can help you fix it. So I think that's something we do a great job with, is not only can we help, you know, find ways to improve your organization's security, but we can help apply solutions to close those gaps and give you a plan to make it better. The last one, there's the City of Leeds, and it's right down the road off I-20. You know, they were more of a, I would say, cautionary tale when it comes to cybersecurity. Well-published event they had there. They were victimized by ransomware. They were, their city was out of commission for 2 to 3 weeks, basically. So it was a very, very bad situation for a municipality to be in. 6 months before that happened, I actually did an assessment for them. Actually went in and helped them identify, you know, areas that needed improvement in their security, but unfortunately they didn't take any action. They were not proactive. Even though they had the information right there on the document, had a plan that probably would have prevented that attack, they chose not to follow that plan. So you know, they're a cautionary tale, but there's a lot of other good tales that are out there where clients maybe, we had a large construction company get hit by ransomware. 6 servers out of commission, 42 machines out of commission. You know, every time we rebooted one, you got the nice ransom note. But they were proactive enough to have a very good backup system. And using that backup system, we had that company back up in just a matter of hours. In fact, it took us more time to make sure that the adversary was no longer in the network and it did actually restore the systems. So, you know, things like that are what make you resilient, you know, to having being victimized by an attack. So this is something that is a very hot topic, very sensitive topic, something that affects us all, both personally and as a business. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things when you think about where attacks are heading, they're heading to municipalities. So when you think about, you know, the cities that are, you know, they're around us, including the Gadsden and Etowah County schools, things like that, those are big targets right now. And we're seeing more and more municipalities, and also those that are tied to critical infrastructure become victims. You know, your waterworks, power stations, telecommunications, those are all big targets right now. In fact, you know, CISA is continually putting out updates and bulletins on those type of attacks, and just, hey, we need to be aware of those. They're coming. Some of them have already happened. So this is definitely an area, you know, as a company we help in. It's a company. It's something I'm passionate about too. I've been doing working in security for probably 6 years, and really enjoy helping clients and helping organizations become more secure. So if you need to get in touch with us, we know we'd love to continue a conversation. If you see something that maybe we can offer to your organization, or maybe you know someone we can talk to, this is our contact information. We're all here. You know, so please ask us if you've got some questions, or maybe think we might could help you out. There's a lot of a need for technology services right now, especially with the labor market as it is. IT people are really hard to find right now. A lot of companies working with are really having trouble hiring good IT people and finding people qualified. But they're also finding that's areas we can help them out with, because we've got the expertise, we've got the systems, we've got the processes in place. So please, if there's anything that we've talked about today, whether it be our managed services, whether it be you know, voice over IP and telecommunications, which is another area that's seen tremendous growth with people going home to work, you know, has been a big area. BI is also a big area, especially with the automation, because of the staffing. You know, if you can take 10 hours of your day back, like Jeremy mentioned, that's a full day that you can get back. But it also means if you can automate processes, maybe a person you don't have to hire as well. Maybe a person you just can't hire, you know, overall. So please get in touch with us. We'd definitely like to talk to you about that. And here's some resources that we have. Those are internal, but you know, we have our website, abacustechnologies.com. So please go there, visit us there. We're in the process of redoing it right now, but we'd definitely like to visit there, get some more information. We've got some videos, we've got some blog posts out there that align with many of the topics that we've talked with today. So any questions I can answer for you on security, phone systems, anything I can answer for you? All right, well, we'll be here. If you'd like to talk with us, please feel free to. We'd love to talk to you, get to know you. So please feel free to stick around for a while. Thanks a lot.